There are days when, I don't feel like a good mother. Being fearless and not being afraid of taking risks.
Hi, Mehvish.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Okay, so can you please tell us about your journey and experience at Alkaram?
Before I do that, I would like to tell you guys a little bit about Alkaram Studio itself.
Awesome.
Alkaram Studio is a company that is at least a decade old, and it has around 1,500 employees, comprising of its retail workforce, its e-commerce workforce, its supply chain, design, marketing, finance, IT, audit, and HR. In terms of our geographic footprint, we are present in about 30 cities with around 62 stores, and we're recognized as one of the top 5 brands of Pakistan. Having done that for almost 2 decades and alhamdulillah reached the pinnacle of whatever that particular career could give me, the appetite to have a new experience and be an impact creator and be part of a transition story was huge, and which attracted me to this particular name and this particular story. And Alkaram Studio has a very interesting story to tell, and that is something I have indeed experienced in the last 1 year, which has so much potential to do much more than what it's perceived to do. And I firmly believe that retail in Pakistan can do a lot more than what it is doing today. And given the rise in consumerism in Pakistan, I feel that we as retail brands can deliver a lot more value to our consumers, which global retail brands today do. The first and the foremost thing that this brand has started doing is undertaking a huge transformation journey, whether it is internal cultural transformation or aiming to be one of the best in Pakistan. In terms of that, there are certain things that I inherited or this brand brings to the table, which is its strong legacy of unstitched lawn collection or unstitched winter collection. And within that, the brand has in the past 1 year taken a pricing pivot. Given the economic uncertainty and the sharp shrinkage in purchasing power of our general public, it was important to bring a smile to their faces, give them some happiness. So what we've tried to do is make our collections very affordable, and we have seen this being very well received by our customers. Our sell-throughs have been amazing in the past 1 year, and we've been able to, mashallah, clock in really good sales. I think our sales will end this year with almost a 50% growth to our top line. Alkaram's winter collection and Alkaram's festive collections in particular bring about the cultural heritage aspect that is really liked by its niche audience. Other than that, our sponsors come from a textile export background, and being one of Pakistan's largest textile exporters, we also have that experience and that excellence of global best practices that that gets transferred in from our sponsor company. So that bit, and the other bit to also be on the ground and have our finger on the pulse of the consumer and understand what they would like and at which price points they would like their products to be. I think that I would consider a huge strength of Alkaram Studios, and having the agility to recognize what today's customer wants and try and bring those changes in our produce is also something I would consider a strength of this brand. For us, the next few years should be this brand working on creating a connection with today's generation, today's millennials and Gen Z, what would they like to see in our stores? We do recognize that Gen X and baby boomers love what we produce, but we would also like to make that connection to today's generation, and hence our increased focus on Pret. And in the coming weeks and months, you will see more and more of that, more and more of really nice, fresh designs and cuts and prints and ready-to-wear outfits, which I hope younger girls would also enjoy as much as our older customers. I feel LinkedIn is a very effective tool when it comes to the content that you see on it, in terms of curating the stuff that you learn from it. I guess a lot of people network from it as well. I unfortunately don't do too much of that networking, but I do see LinkedIn as a very useful tool in terms of the content curation. And in terms of impact, I would say that whatever you have, you can authentically represent about yourself, about what you do, and whatever impact that can make. I think LinkedIn is very effective in putting that across to a very wide audience. Alkaram Studio surprisingly has a very good representation, or a very decent representation of females. We have about 30% female representation at the head office. In fact, about 45% of my leadership team is women, and about 20% in retail workforce and 20% at our stitching unit. However, there, we would want the women participation to be better. And there's a very interesting Forbes study that I came across some time back, which basically stated that women are primary economic decision makers when it comes to things like groceries, when it even comes down to making buying decisions for most of their family members. Now, with women as your major customer, and this being a retail fashion brand, if you don't have a female brain or a majority of your workforce representing females or designing for women, then you're really doing something seriously wrong. There are days when I don't feel like a good mother, but then there are days when I look at the things that I have been able to accomplish in various roles that I take. But the key at the end of the day stays with being grounded and being very authentic and being true to whatever you're doing. I think, and also compartmentalizing your roles. You are a working mother and you are a mother at home. And that bit, compartmentalizing it effectively, also helps you get through your day and get through your work hours and then off work hours in a more productive way, I would say. Being fearless and not being afraid of taking risks. I think my entire life is defined by being fearless and taking bold decisions, making bold decisions and taking big risks, and some of them may you may fall flat on your face also after taking some of those risks. Not all risks will lead to great paths, but I think by and large I have been the answer that has come back to me each time I've taken a risk is keep on taking those risks, and don't be afraid to be defined by what the professional norms feel, what you should be, and where a woman's place should be. So long as you allow others to define your limits, you will be limited to what others tell you.